Welcome to today's Piano and Violin Duo Masterclass, jointly brought to you by Tommy Music and Opus One Summerfest. I'm Heidi, your MC of today. 大家好，歡迎嚟臨今日呢一場由通利琴行及 Opus One Summerfest 合辦嘅鋼琴及小提琴合奏大師班。我係你哋今日嘅 MC Heidi。咁以下落嚟嘅內容呢，就將會以全英文進行啦。咁先溫馨提示大家，就將手機調校到靜音模式嘅。The masterclass today will be conducted in English. Please kindly switch your mobile devices to silent mode for the smooth running of the event. Today, we are extremely excited to have three masters to share with us from their experience on performance skills. We will also be able to see them perform live. They are Steinway artist Mr. Warren Lee, the artistic director of Opus One, concertmaster of the Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra, Mr. Jing Wang, and also internationally renowned violinist Ms. Zia Shin, who came all the way from South Korea. We are very delighted to have a full house of audience joining us live here, and also the event will be live streamed to allow more supporters and music lovers to gain inspirations. Towards the end of the masterclass, there will be a Q&A session, so please save your questions until the last. Let's now give a round of applause to welcome Mr. Warren Lee, Mr. Jing Wang, and Ms. Zia Shin onto the stage to perform for us two movements from Moszkowski's Suite for two violins and piano, Opus 71. Please. Thank you very much. I'm sure all of us here live and also online, all the audience are feeling the emotions and feeling all the very beautiful playing of the three masters, Warren, Jing, and also Zia. So, well, we are still dwelling into the very beautiful emotions here. I would like to invite all of you to proceed to our next section, which is the masterclass. We will have 4 students that will come onto this stage, and they will be playing piano and also the violin, and also the 3 masters will join us. So may I now invite Jamie Chang on the violin, Oliver Ng on the piano. Please be ready, and we will have them bring to us onto the stage Mozart Sonata for piano and violin in G major, K301, first movement. So I will pass the stage to them. Thank you very much.
get to the pianist side. Well done, Oliver and Jamie. Is this a first time?
Yes.
First time for Oliver. Is it first time? You said a public masterclass. Yeah. Yes, it's pretty nerve-wracking. But well done. It's not an easy. Actually, it sounds delightful and pleasant, but it's actually not easy at all. Zia?
Yeah. Thank you, and then bravo. But I would like to know when you guys play in this piece, what do you wanna feeling? What do you have the feeling inside?
Cheerful and happy.
Happy, and Jamie?
Since this piece is in major, I think it gives off more of a positive and happy vibe rather than like pessimistic or negative.
Yes, that's correct. But when we play on the stage, we have to express 30% more. So always 100% is not enough. So when you play the like 120% when you play, and then the audience will get understand your music more. So I really want to feel more happy, and then more lively, and then playfully, something like this. I want to hear more emotions, many kind of things. Yeah. And
Excellent point, especially when you're under pressure. Like you tend to go in rather than out, right? You shut yourself in, and then you're in your little zone. So make sure 120%, right? And in any case, when you're on stage, you need to amplify whatever you're doing. That's one thing I learned from being involved in a musical 6 years ago. That the movement coach taught the singers one thing. It's called, they call it, what the Disney people do when they do the parade. Instead of just lifting their hand like that, they go like, right? This accent, right? That's what we have to do as performers, right? They have demonstrated, or hopefully we have demonstrated that. So it's very important to get that. Shall we try? Let's try again from the beginning.
Thank you very much. Great. All right. So I can tell from your eyes that you're really trying. We have dum bum, bim bum bum bum, da 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 di. You're trying to play more there. Yes, forte. And then when you start accompanying him, da di da da da, goes back to piano. But still, for me, you are maybe giving you 100%. But now I need you to give 500%. Okay. And also when you play dum bum, these three statements: bim bum bum bum. Number one, dum bum bum bim. Number two, dum bim bum bum. Do you want them to sound the same? If they sound the same, for me, it's a little boring, So can you just try it right here? I want a direction. There's always needs to be a direction to the point, the high point of your phrase. Know where it is, okay? So start, and then more, and more. When he takes over, play really soft. Breathe. Okay, let's do this again. Now you're a little nervous. Really in rhythm when you do this. Also, really in rhythm. Okay, try once again.
Okay, can I stop you here? One of the magic of playing with one other person or more is that you get to feed off one another, the energy and the music and all that, and it's written in the music. Can we just try from here? Da, 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 dee. But I'm going to trick you both. So just play right hand, da, 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 dee, and then you have to answer whatever he does. You have to answer, but don't play right away. I'll give you a cue for the next one. Okay? Okay, whatever he does, you have to follow. I just asked him to play really loud, and you did respond, right? So now this time I'm going to cue you. So da 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 dee da 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 dee, and when I said okay, then you go. Okay, I'll give you the next cue. So just do it again. Whatever he throws at you, you have to respond. Okay, do it again. Dee da da dee. No, stop. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, Jamie, do it with me. Okay. Exactly. Now you're listening and responding. Well, we won't do that in the actual thing, right? But there will be very subtle feelings or nuances. That's the word we want. Nuances. And we don't do it exactly the same every single time. We don't do it. That's the beauty of. I actually just enjoyed our little playing together, our performance together, and guess how many times we've rehearsed that. We played through it twice, about 24 hours ago. But I enjoy the spontaneity of a lot of it would take time, and probably what we did today was slightly different from yesterday, but it's all from listening. It's not from pre-programming it, right? So if we listen, what we just did, you just heightened your listening, right? You just heightened it, and then you will respond, and then the music will come alive. Okay, can we try it? Da, 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 dee. Go on.
Good, thank you. Actually, the point that you're making, this is very funny because actually, Jamie heard this from me before. What's the importance of raising your violin? Jamie, it's like this. Can you hold this for a second? Sometimes when you play, and then you are playing actually loud, but this is forte. Is it loud? It is louder. But the thing is, people out there, they barely hear louder. Why? It's not because the volume is not good. It's because you need to be almost an actress on the stage. If you don't act like you're confident, you will always play in this cubicle on stage. You need to project your idea. See, if you play just like this, and then really, really like this, or you think about you're playing to the bottom of the hall, to that corner of the hall, right? And then your body motions and everything. I know it's uncomfortable to do it in front of 60 people, but guess what? You're going to have to perform in front of 500 people next week. So you need to really bring out everything you can. I'm talking about you have to be an actress. You know, you have to show people physically that you really mean to play forte. Yes? Yeah. It's never too much. Trust me on that. Never too much.
Yeah, Jamie, just easy. When you play the forte, just goes up. Always forte, it goes up, and then piano a little less down. Just think about the simple thing, okay? Can you try?
From where?
Where? Yeah.
Piano one first.
More? Yes. So, you guys were sitting there when us three were playing, right? Did you see a little bit? Could you see my eyes? Could you see her eyes? Could you see his eyes a little bit? Yeah. How do you describe, what were we doing while we were playing the music? Sometimes I'm looking at my music, but what was I doing while I was playing? Communicating, yeah. But I wasn't saying, hello, Warren, how are you? I wasn't communicating with my mouth, right? With my eyes, yeah. How much were we doing that, would you say? Like in one phrase, how much were we doing that?
A few times.
A few times just in one phrase. Yes, Jamie? Yeah. How much did you guys do that just now after playing a whole page? You can say 100, 0, once, okay. Do you get my point? You see, here's the thing, like, you can play through the piece perfect like this, you can. How the audience feels about your performance will be just like, oh, you just got out of school, you're a little tired, my teacher told me to play this piece now, I'm gonna get on stage and play this piece, you know. But if you want to give a really special performance, I mean, this is the first point he was making too. The communication you guys need, I mean, it really comes from the soul. The soul comes out from your eyes. And then if you just, when you rehearse and you practicing just you and him, if you really just try to do this exercise where you guys almost have the music memorized, I think, by the way, and you just look at each other in the eyes and just do something special, because we don't want to play this music over and over again the same way. When we play this Moskovsky, not a single time is the same way, and I find this much more fun. You gotta have much more fun practicing also like this, you know. Look at music to be bigger than just the notes that you see in the...
And the communication, looking is the first level, right? This is the basic. But actually, if you get more advanced, it's listening, and even more advanced. By the way, they probably looked at one another more because they're just facing one another, and it's easy for them to look down on me. They look down on me because they're standing, and it's harder for me to look up. First of all, there's spotlights. If I look up and then I just couldn't see, so I can actually look up a lot. So what I do is I just listen, and I listen to their breathing. That's the most important thing, I think, breathing. I could actually play behind a screen and could still be together with them because they are so natural as musicians, and they breathe, and I just, from their breathing, I know exactly the tempo, the tone, the character they're going to come in with. That's magic of music. So there needs to be something magical going on here, whatever it is, looking, listening, and feeling one another's breath. It's not just wind players, pianists. Always pianists are the one who can just play a lot of notes without thinking and breathing. We play all the notes. So breathe. They have down bow and up bow naturally. They actually feel the phrase a little better than we play a percussion instruments. So you have to do. Let's try that again from the middle section. Whenever you have an entrance, make sure you're communicating. Dum dum after the repeat. Can I just push you a little bit? Just do this dum bum ba ba. Look at him and play. Don't look at the music. I know you know the music, so just look. Turn around. Yeah, I think most of the time when we hide in our little cubicle on stage, we hide behind the score. Everyone does that. It actually takes a professional to play with the music and naturally. And not like practicing. It's actually you need to practice that to play with music, and really be a performer still, right? Not hide behind the score. It's called. You should have the score in your head rather than your head in the score. So, okay, score in the head. That was a lot better. I think that was a lot better. Can you now do it now looking the right way, but still feel this connection?
Yeah, see, I saw it. I saw this. You were looking at her, but still, Jimmy, you're a little shy. You know the music by memory. I'm pretty sure. You know it by memory. Don't be shy. Turn around, turn around. You have, you play for the audience sometimes, then you have to play with him sometimes.
She has so hard to see him. This position is like a professional. So if you can see so hard, you can play closer. And then listen more.
You actually feel safer to be closer and to be in a community, right? Both of you are accountable for any mistakes or all the good things. You're in it together, right? You need to feel. Otherwise, you feel more and more. If you're scared, you feel more and more isolated, right? And then we tend to you'll get lost sometimes. So just so well done for looking. It's easier for us to have a, but you don't need to like turn 90 degree, right? You just corner of your eye, make sure there's some connection. Let's go from where you stopped. Where? Da da ba 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 134, the piano solo. Piano first. One more time. The second time. Second octave.
From here.
Okay, second time. Second time. Second time. Keep going. You have to keep going. Okay, whatever happens. Okay, one more time. Give it. Breathe.
I want to, sorry. This is the ending of the piece. This last verse, dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum. Sometimes people actually don't know if you end it or not. Okay. So now, two problems. The ensemble is a problem. Okay. Now the other thing is that what dynamics do you have at the very last 3-4 measures?
In the last four, there's a piano, and then on the last one, there's a organ.
Okay. So piano, dum bum bum bum, da 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 dum, bum, right? Okay. So the idea of this, there we go again. So the dynamics has to be exaggerated really, really much better because you're playing like this is the middle of the piece. Okay. This last one, dum ba da da dum, bum. I want to hear very final last note. Okay. Can you just try from her entrance on the low G?
Dum, bum. Just write down 1, 2, 3, go.
Yes, Jimmy, why do you get softer on the upper? Da 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 bum. Ending. Yes, once again.
Great. I'm going to ask, before I let you guys go, ask one question. And it's a potentially very sensitive question. Who do you think is more important in this setup? Since this is a duo piano, violin masterclass. Which instrument is more important? We're slightly outnumbered here by violinists. What do you think, Oliver?
Piano.
Thanks for standing by my side. Jamie?
I think because the violin is also like in the front, and maybe like the violin, but then also both instruments are important in this piece because there's solos for both. And yeah.
Both. And what about you guys? Who's more important?
This is a tricky question. Okay, so remember this. There's many composers. I mean, almost all the composers we play for violin, they have written dual sonatas for violin and piano. We have Mozart, we have Brahms, Beethoven, and then you have Franck, and then you have people like Prokofiev. Okay, for those who let me talk about something else first. For those who don't know the Prokofiev No. 2 violin sonata, I mean, one of my favorite pieces for violin and piano. I mean, that piece definitely is a showpiece for the violin and almost like a concerto for the violin. This is not the case. Mozart is not the case. Beethoven, he wrote some that's, violin intensive, but also Beethoven, basically just remember this. Classical composers like Mozart and the early Beethoven, it's basically a piano sonata with violin accompaniment.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And I'm not going to get into Brahms and things like this, but for Mozart and early Beethoven, it's definitely a piano sonata with violin accompaniment. That's what I think. What do you think? She disagrees, maybe.
Yeah, she seems to be disagreeing.
I agree.
Whoever disagrees, this is the cover of the sonatas. 19 sonatas for piano and violin, not violin and piano. Piano and violin. That's always my case when I argue with violinists. Basically, it should be both, but we do have more notes, and we have two hands. So we have, basically it's a trio most of the time, because the left hand, right hand, and your violin line. It's basically a trio. So we need to know who is coming out when and who is just accompanying, and you need to know which hand, and it needs to come out of the texture. But I think for Beethoven as well, and also Brahms put piano before violin, partly because they all play the piano. So we win. Okay, but thank you very much for having the courage to come out here and play in front of people and have a lesson. And you 10 and 12, Jamie? Yeah. So I don't think I've played a duo sonata when I was 10. So well done. Okay.
Bravo.
Okay. Take a bow.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for the very interesting and very insightful sharing from my masters. And also, wow, it must take a lot of courage to be able to stand onto the stage. Even like myself, I still feel the pressure of, speaking to all of you. But yes, I think while we are still in that emotions, let me welcome the next duo onto the stage. They are Sophie Tong on the violin and Lam Pu Yin on the piano. They will be bringing to us Beethoven Sonata for piano and violin in D major, Opus 12, number 1, first movement. So I'll pass the stage to both of you. Thank you.
Both of you, I think this is a performance at a very, very high level. I don't know if you guys had any coachings on this, but this is really, really good. In terms of everything, I'm talking about individual technical parts, I'm talking about communication. You guys did the same dynamics, same articulation. This is a really competition-worthy performance. Really, congratulations, bravo.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your perform, and then yeah, thank you. I have no recommendation to them. I have just a simple thing when they start. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I think not only in terms of chamber music, the ensembleship, but also getting the style right. I mean, this is early Beethoven. We're talking about very youthful Beethoven who wants to make a statement and to be past his teacher for a short time, Haydn. So you've got that energy, you've got without going over. So you really nailed the style. Which school did you go to? Guys, been well coached. Let's start from the beginning again. I think we can actually in the masterclass we can also explain to the audience what made it a good ensemble. I think you also picked up on what you just learned from the previous, right? You've been listening. That's the beauty of masterclass. It's actually you learn even just sitting there auditing. They've demonstrated that they were rehearsing just before the class, and I see a greater sense of communication because we talked about it with Jamie and Oliver. We can see the verbal, or not the verbal, but the eye contact, but also the listening. We can hear the listening between you two, and that was great. It's a great demonstration of how masterclass should be, right? People from down there, they should be learning things and then applying it. That way, you will learn so much quicker in everything you do. So don't be a passive. When you're in a class like this, don't be passive in a masterclass. When I was a kid, I wish somebody told me that in the masterclass you're not supposed to just fall asleep, right? Because in college, in music, the classes, the performance classes, we tend to, this is a passive class. I can just sit and lay back, and if I'm not playing. But I wish I took more notes from when I'm just sitting. So make sure every single masterclass that you go to, whether you play or not, take notes, and even if it's not your instrument, I kept on my phone. I kept notes from master classes. Even master class, like I might be writing down some of the points that they've talked about today, because that will be helpful for me and for my teaching, right? You pass that on. It becomes part of you. So let's go from the beginning.
Play or can play to more piano, and then forte more piano. I want to listen together, like more carefully. Yeah,
Dynamics.
Yeah, dynamics, and then I want to hear who's play the melody, who's important melody right now. So can we play from the start, and then can you the point or stop before like this? Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Good. Not too much flying the sound. More typical like this. Can you play?
designed like this. You play, and then you drop the sound. Nobody hear anything. So I hear, you're dropping the sound there. It doesn't say to drop the sound. If anything, you should actually play more. Here. Okay, when you go down to the G string, give even more intensity there. Okay, can you try it right there? Actually continues with the so I actually don't think this note should be long. And yes, he actually wrote a dot on this note, you know, because this note has to sound like the piano bing like this, so he can continue whatever he wants to do with his last note should be different. He has the end of the phrase, you don't have the end of the phrase there. Okay, so you're in the middle of the phrase. So can you try to play this short like this?
Take a go from
Like let's say dum ba dum bum bum. Here.
By the way, let me just say, it happens a lot actually because the way it's built, the violinist only gets his or her own part, right? You only see 1/3 of the music, right? And the pianists get to see everything. And a lot of the time, just places like that, you would think that this is the end of the phrase, right? And then you just stop. It happens a lot in places where there are retards, where the piano actually have 4 more bars of retard, but the violinists usually just retard like it's their phrase and then they end it. But the piano always, so make sure when you study chamber music, make sure you look at the full score, especially for the string players or the non-pianists. We get to see every note and every part. So make sure we know the bigger structure. Okay, let's go from dum.
Sorry. This is sometimes I get so excited that you do something and then I'm like, should I say something? Should I not say something? This is more something that I would say maybe in an individual lesson, but I want to know why do you slow down? Dum. I want to know, is there a reason because you feel that the musically should slow down or why?
I think I did it too much last time.
But do you want to do it? Okay. For me, it causes some problems because the piano actually is very hard for him to come in right away. And then the way you feel every day, this is also something. When we play with our feelings change every day depending on the weather, depending on, if you're hungry or you're not hungry. You can have different timing all the time. And that's, for me, as a performer, it's very dangerous because we always want to play perfect on the stage. And how do you control this perfection is that you cannot let your feelings take over. We want to make the audience feel something. But to make the audience feel something, we need to be 200% in control of our timing and our performance. How do we do that? So for me, actually, this idea of slowing down according to my feeling is very dangerous. Can we try once, not slowing down at all, and just go directly into it, like this? It's very good. It's very good. Now, this is really the kind of things I like to You know, you guys are like diamonds, but how do we polish this diamond more and more so it becomes more shining? You can take the liberty, you know, now that you know this piece so well, I would say you can take the liberty to do even more with the timing in some of the fortissimo parts to make it a big surprise. Do you know what I'm talking about, actually? Bum, bim, bum, bum. This for me is too straightforward. Like nothing. Okay, the volume is good. Can you try once? Really stop right after the grace note. Bum, bim. So this is kind of like fireworks explosion over there. Start a couple minutes.
Before I wanna tell you something. Dun, 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 da, dum, bum, 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 ba. What is that here? Yeah. When you play like the most important note, which one is most important here?
The C.
Yes, but I can hear dun 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 da, bum 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 ba, dum. Don't look like that. Dun 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 da, dum, bum bum bum. And then also piano play like dun 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 da, da, like this. So can you control more your bow? Not like that. Yeah, start a little 2 bars before from there.
Can we skip to the ending, like the coda, the ending? Right there. Yeah, my question is, he plays bim bum, you play bim bum, dropping too much on the second sound. Yes? Once again, bim bum, bim bum. Very good. Can the violin, can you sound like a piano? Bum, bum, bum. Every down bow, up bow should sound even. Now, this is, That's what we do. Every down bow sounds stronger than the up bow. Okay, make sure they sound very even. Just try that. It sounds very nice.
Same place. Great. I was going to just say one thing about that last point. When Jing asked Sophie to play more like the piano, then she could respond. I just know for a fact that Hui Yin here plays the viola very well, and Sophie also plays the piano very well. So they know the other instrument. But to be a great ensemble, you actually need to know the shortcomings or the strings of the other instrument that you're playing with. So what is the shortcoming of the piano?
I can't really change the dynamics in between the notes.
Yeah, it can't sustain. So once you hit a note, it just dies, right? So we can't sustain a note. If we some places where there's crescendo marked over a long note, we actually cannot do it. So we have to find ways to compensate. So one shortcomings of the violin.
The violin.
That we have to watch out when you play with a violin.
I think it's the size of it.
Exactly. So it's just look at the size of the violin and the piano. And in fact, Jing pointed out, so when you play a scales going down, you need to play more. For piano, it's actually the reverse. When you do a scales, when we get to the strings are longer and thicker and it's louder, right? So our articulation have to change. So we have to be aware of all these differences in physics of our instruments. So our sound dies, and then they have their middle and lower registers harder to come out. The size of the piano. What, Sophie? So what do you think about the size of the piano compared to this? And there's one more factor in play, very important. So until today, until 1:30 today, you don't actually know how big the piano you're playing with, right? You don't know the brand, you don't know how light the touch, you don't even know, right? The pianists, we don't know until we get to the venue. Oh, okay, it's this size, right? And it's full lit. When you practice, probably, it's half lit, or it could be an upright piano. And all of a sudden, we got this brand new Steinway, and it's the hall is different. So we have to adapt. So one thing as a pianist, we have to be really careful with balance. We can drown just about any instrument, except maybe the brass. And when I play with clarinetists, I don't have to worry about drowning him. But violin, especially if you play with viola, I'm sure you know, and cello, and that's the reason why they stand here, right, for sonatas, instead of right there, because you feel like you have a hi-fi going on at full volume behind you, so you can listen better standing here. I think that's partly the reason. So, and when you play with a wind instrument, you have to worry about their breath, right? That's a whole new added dimension that we have to worry about. But that's the fun part of being a pianist. We win the game because we get to play with all different kinds of instrumentalists, and we have all the fun.
Great. I think that wraps it up, and congratulations. Really, it just sounds
fantastic.
beautiful. Yeah. I'd like to finish the session by, anyone in the audience, any question you have for any of us, now is the time. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. And, it's been a pleasure, hearing all of these people. Thank you so much. You can go on.
Yeah. So, Hui Yin and actually all four of them, and together we have 13 scholars. The Opus wasn't Summerfest. We'll be having a chamber music summer festival starting next week, and Sophie and Hui Yin, they're two of the 13 scholars. They'll be forming piano quintets and piano trio. They'll be performing at the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts on August 11th. So they have a week to get ready for a big chamber music work. So this is just the appetizer. So Okay, anyone with any questions online or offline?
We get, I don't know, maybe all of you parents, you have kids who play music. It's a very, in Hong Kong, most of you, okay, I need to have my kid play maybe some violin, some piano, some cello, yes, but I mean, I hope all of you do know that there do have a goal. Do you have a goal? Do you have any questions? I mean, we have Zia over here who flew from Korea. She won all the major international competitions out there. What is it that you want? You want a career? You want to get into school? You want to, is there anything in particular? Why do you have your kids play an instrument? I hope everybody actually really ask yourself like this question, because these days it's getting more and more competitive anywhere you go in the world. And now I think it's the time that we really, in the festival, that's also one of the things I addressed to Warren. We're going to have a workshop, and then we're going to be Zoom calling all international professors and soloists and ask them what does it take to build a career in music. I think for me those are very important issues. And if there's no more questions, then we're happy to go have dinner.
Early.
Yes.
So, anyone? There's a question there.
Thank you, the masters. May I ask a question? My daughter, when she learned from the foundation, then her teacher, she plays the violin. And when she learned from the foundation, her teacher was like teaching her to sing a movable do. But now her present teacher always sings fixed do. And is it really important to convert to fixed do, and how to convert to that? Because she's very confused now.
For me, as a violinist, talking about just fixed that la, we have the, we call it perfect pitch. We actually call it perfect pitch. Very important to have fixed do. Very, very important, because for me, the intonation that I have in my head, when I perform on stage, you have to hear exactly the pitch before you are able to play that pitch. If you do not hear the pitch and you have a movable do, you will get really, really confused. You're doing more work than other people. To have this perfect pitch is for violinists, for cellists, for violists. I would even say for wind players is quite important. Any instrument that you need to tune, your intonation is very important. Actually, I don't know how a teacher would tell a violinist to not have movable do, because when I was 3 years old, I learned with the Suzuki method. We are all encouraged to have this fixed do, and then we have to go on in the class and sing la, like it has to be the correct pitch. So since I was 3 years old, I was trained this way.
Yeah,
for her as well.
The movable does are more for choirs. The choirs like to use movable does. But my guess is actually your teacher probably has perfect pitch. So perfect pitch you're born with, but you can train to have something that's close to a perfect pitch, a relative pitch. And so those who are born with perfect pitch, it's actually very difficult to learn the movable do. I have perfect pitch, and I can't sing in movable do. So everything is fixed. But having that pitch is very important, even for pianists, where we can't do anything about the tuning once we're out there. But especially when playing with people, because I can hear all their notes, and when I see the score, I can actually hear all their notes, and that's how we get together. But that's a very, very, very good question. It probably invites a debate. Yeah. So try to get used to a fixed do. Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you very much, and hope to see you very soon in one of those concerts in Hong Kong. And thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much once again for Warren, Jing, and Zia. And also, of course, I want to invite all of you to give a round of applause to our 4 students as well, to be able to come on the stage. We have Sophie, Puyin, Oliver, and Jamie. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for all of you for joining live and also online. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank you, Opus 1, as well as Tommy Music, everyone involved in this there are a lot of work, so please stay tuned and also support Opus One and Tommy Music for the upcoming events. Thank you very much. Thank you.